Mars!
Mes plaisirs, je n'ai plus besoin de balayer les amours avec leur trémolo, balayer pour toujours, je repars à zéro. Non, rien de rien, non, je ne regrette rien, ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien, non, je ne regrette rien, car ma vie, car mes joies, ça commence avec toi.
Michael Rennie was ill the day the earth stood still, but he told us where we stand. And Flash Gordon was there in silver underwear. Claude Rains was the invisible man. Then something went wrong for Fay Ray and King Kong. They got caught in a celluloid jam. Then at a deadly pace it came from outer space. And this is how the message ran. Science fiction, double feature, Dr. X will build a creature. See androids fighting, Brad and Janet, and Francis stars in Forbidden Planet. Whoa. At the late night double feature picture show. I knew Leo G. Carroll was over a barrel when Tarantula took to the hills. And I really got hot when I saw Jeanette Scott fight a trivet that spits poison and kills. Dana Andrews said prunes gave him the runes, and passing the muse lots of skills. But when worlds collide, said George Powell to his bride. I'm gonna give ya some terrible thrills, like art, science fiction, double feature, Dr. X will build a creature, see androids fighting, Brad and Janet, and Francis stars in Forbidden Planet. Whoa. At the late night double feature picture show, I wanna go. To the late night double feature picture show by RKO. To the late night double feature picture show in the back row. To the late night double feature picture show.
What's there?
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. C'est payé, balayé, oublié. Je me fous du passé. Avec mes souvenirs, j'ai allumé le feu. Mes chagrins, mes plaisirs, je n'ai plus besoin de balayer les amours avec leur trémolo, balayer pour toujours. Je repars à zéro. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Car ma vie, car mes joies, aujourd'hui, ça commence avec toi.
Hopefully they can see me now. Hey guys, sorry, we're trying to get everybody Skyped in here. We're running into the usual technical difficulties of our high-end. Okay, Ken, I'm going to pop you up here next, I think.
Pop away.
And there you are. They were asking for you. And
Your fans are calling.
And let me get Steve in here.
Who am I to deny my fans?
Fans.
Okay, I just sent him an email.
Okay, and Steve, I think this one's you. It is. All right, I got us all in here, and hopefully Mike will chime in shortly. And guys, I apologize for the snag. Oh, it helps if I turn my microphone. Is my microphone on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Can you still hear me okay?
Yep, hear you fine, hear you fine.
Okay.
You're
Wow, well, guys, that was fun.
not.
We can see, we can hear. Kenny is echoing a bit. Ken's audio is a little high. Ken, move the mic away or turn your audio. Well, hold on. Actually,
That would be on your side. It's all right.
I can fix all that. Just dial those down. That should bring you back into the yellow. Okay. Well, hi everybody, and welcome aboard. How can I get? Trust me, this has been more work than I can explain. Did Mike's never gotten back with us, or
Haven't gotten an answer yet.
I'm guessing he's got technical. You know. Mike, in the comment section, if you're watching, are you getting a Skype request? I don't know. It might be a limit. Maybe 3 is all you can do, or something. I don't know. No, now some people say they need more volume. Test.
It's becoming a commercial.
Well, anyway, let me, let's see, let's move that up. There we go. Okay, oh God, I'm going to have to reduce the size of Ken's picture because his noggin is, there we go.
What?
Well, that went to heck in a handbasket in the last 5 seconds. I thought we'd left ourselves plenty of time.
Nope. Group call can 100 participants.
Okay. Well, we'll figure out the deal. I probably should have gotten an earlier start. So
Sluggo says he wants to know if you got his pictures.
I did, and we're gonna go over those and some other stuff. Mike, are you getting a ping from Skype?
Sounds like inside house 19. What does that sound?
Here. Mike says Skype. Thought it was his phone call.
Oh, we're
on Zoom, right?
Max.
No, we're on Skype.
Max, I think we got to turn off.
Hold on.
It says Steve and I are both echoing.
Okay, hold on. I think I got part of what the problem was. Audio capture. Yeti.
Mike's not on Skype. He's going to call in.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do that too. Going old school.
You know it works.
1, 2. Okay, let me. I got to do it. Okay. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I was switched over to the Yeti mic. That should help, but I've forgotten to plug it in. I will call Mike, or he can call me. Either one.
Oops. So y'all still eating.
Yeah, Ken. Great timing there, buddy. I mean, I know we're informal here, but come on.
I was trying to get out of frame so nobody could see me shove my mouth. Oh well. Okay, Kudakilla says Max sounding better.
Hey, it's Max.
Now everybody's echoing.
Hey, stuff happens. No big deal. So, let me, I'm going to use your Bonanza mug to help prop the phone up close to the speaker. Because what could go wrong with this operation?
Nothing we haven't done before.
All right.
We're already way ahead of that curve.
Okay. Well, guys, I guess we'll start the show now, 12 minutes in. So amongst the other things that'll be going on tonight is I'll be doing the build on the lower left. This is the Airfix Snap Tight Challenger tank. But before we get going on that, today we're going to be talking about box art, but not the way we did before. And Mike sent me a couple of pictures we're going to talk about. One thing is that the thing I want to talk about was and of course this is my view, is the different approaches or styles, or I don't know if you call them genres or whatever. So I'm just in no particular order. I'm going to kick off with this. And guys, I'm going to be covering your faces part of the time. This, Mike, can you see?
Yeah,
Okay.
There's a delay, but I'm watching you.
Yeah, I think we're running about a 15-second delay because
That's
anyway.
what it looks like.
So the first thing I'm kicking up are box arts that have neutral backgrounds or monocolor backgrounds, and which for some reason seems to be very common with balsa kits, but there's a big debate, I guess, on some people think that's you're emphasizing the model, you're going to sell it, and some people like it lacks something. So I thought the thing I'll talk about is. First off, your opinion of using neutral colors, and do you think it helps sell the model?
For me?
Yeah, for any, it's kind of open, but since you're the artist in the group, I thought we would get your feedback on that first.
Well, if I may, and I hope I'm seeing comments saying I have an echo. I hope it's okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, but I've got the phone, so I'm going to back it away from the microphone. Hold on, I think I got something that might help with that.
Max.
Yeah.
Max. We can hear him. I think you got dual audio and something.
Oh, you know what? I just might.
Because some people are saying that everybody is echoing except for you.
Oh, I have a thought.
And just my sound is turned down completely. I just my volume on the computer is totally off.
All right, guys, give me a 1 count or 2 count.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, you guys
4,
still
5.
hear? Yeah. Are you guys still hearing the echo? Okay, the Dreamberry says he can hear Mike fine. Okay.
Mike sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
So
right.
I think I figured out what I had to turn. Never mind. I found out what I had to turn down.
Okay, sounds like we're good to go.
Okay.
What I'd like to do to answer your question, let's go back to the fundamentals. And you're going to see in some of the other covers that you've got and some of the stuff I sent to you, you're going to see this big time. There are 6 factors that make good, compelling, high-impact artwork. And they are as follows. And this ties in directly to the plain background. Cool and warm colors, we'll see that. Light and dark shapes, and bright and dull surfaces. So if you get all 6 of those going, which you're going to see in some of these covers, that's what gives you that knockout, holy cow, I got to buy this model, and you still remember those hits from when you were kids, that very compelling artwork. So what I'm seeing on these covers without any background is a little bit of a lack of any of those things, because you look at the P38, it's all cool color. Bluish gray.
Yeah, I see what you mean, yeah.
Bluish gray, blue anti-glare panel, go figure that out. And then a white background, blue lettering. And so you've got all predominantly blue colors, which is very placid. So the airplane is cruising along and looks very, restful and calm. And you don't get a lot of action. I guess that's what I was getting at. And then when you add the A4, you have the B47 on the screen right now.
Yeah.
There you go. On the A4 Skyhawk, you got the exact opposite. You got black, white, and red. Okay. On the World War I, or the Curtis and the Renwall kit, it's again all cool colors. So the response that we are all feeling watching these is like, okay, there's the airplane. Yeah, cool. There's not a lot of impact, not a lot of emotional response. Now you got the B47. Look what's happening. You have the B47 on the cover.
Yeah, I've got it back up. It'll take a second before it gets to your before you see it, but I've got it back up.
Okay, so now you've got all sorts of stuff. You got light and dark, cool and warm, bright metal, dull mountains. You got all sorts of stuff going on, and this was a small kit. I think it was I don't know if it was the 49 cent, but it was a smaller kit back in the day. And I can tell you, as sure as I'm sitting here at 12, 13 years old, I remember walking into Hobby-Rama, looking at this and going, a yellow B-47? What the heck? Huh? And it's taking off from a subterranean runway because it's bursting out of the ground because the perspective is totally different, and the background is anywhere Air Base USA, anywhere Air Force Base USA, very generic. And then I went and bought the kit and took it home and built it. I mean, it had that impact on me, but that's the opposite of what we were looking at with the plain cover. So when you take away the background, and maybe, you know what, maybe because they were balsa flying models in those cases, monogram Speedy build, I don't know, they had a different purpose. They lived in a different place than our plastic stuff. I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe we'll see some comments. But we're going to see some covers later on that are the other end of the spectrum, which just knock you over the head. And I'll close with this on this comment, on this question. We had a phrase in art school: the art has to reach out and grab you by the throat. That was the term that they used, which is what you're going to see on some of the Linwood stuff. He was the master, obviously. But that's what's missing, and I don't say that in a derogatory way. It's just these have a different look and feel to them. That's why. That's all.
Well, that brings up another little trick here. These are, I had them laid as speed streaks, but they're like motion.
Oh,
and
yeah. Sure.
I get the action blurring the background and the streaks. But I just wonder about your opinion of doing anything like this, because to me I get what they're trying to do. I'm not really sure how that grabs the potential buyer. But it's sort of, because we're going to talk about some other pictures that I picked out, which are like kind of photorealistic. Some of them are Linwoods also. But I was just wondering, this technique, if you thought it was a good way to sell models or not.
Well, first and foremost, these are Airfix, and that is a different flavor than the American kits or the Japanese kits or any of the other kits. There was a certain look to their covers. They're very effective. Colors are kind of muted, and it fits the scene. You see the Jaguar up there zooming along, and of course you always get speed near the ground. It's called ground rush, and you see that in a fighter. You get that Star Wars slot effect where everything's coming at you, and so it kind of conveys that. I think it's very effective, but it fits the airplane. It fits the mood of the airplane. The 86D, same thing. It's a milder form of what we're going on, but just look at how effective on the F-86 the yellow ground color is against the blue. Here, that's the cool and warm color I was talking about. Just that one little, it's the lower half of the frame, but the airplane pops out.
Now, well, that kind of brings up an interesting thing. It just crossed my mind because you said that, is that since the Jaguar's camouflage and it's over,
Yes.
lush terrain, streaking it like that sort of makes the airplane stand out a little more because it's crisper than because if it was be completely static, the plane might tend to blend with the background, which of course is the idea of camouflage.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's a Roy Cross, so maybe your troopers can, confirm that or not, but it looks like a Roy Cross. But what is really cool about that is if you look in the background, every color that's in the airplane is in the background, but just muted. Every single shade of gray, green, olive, they're all in the background, but very, very muted, meaning that the camo is designed to, relate to those ground colors. And yet on the model box top, the airplane is screaming along and just, killer, great artwork.
Yeah, it's something else. Well, we'll roll into the, Yeah.
Mike, I got a question for you.
Sure.
From an artist's point of view, how do you do the streaking when you're doing the object? Do you do the background first, streak it, and then put the foreground object, or what's the technique you use to streak the background?
It's a great question, thank you, and it comes down to the medium. These paintings were done in either acrylic or water-based gouache. They're not oil paint as far as as far as I know. But these were all done usually under tight deadline, and so water-based stuff dried almost immediately, and you could crank these things out overnight and mail it to the client the next morning. It'd be good. Point being that on a water-based medium, to get a speed line, you wet the board, and then you lay in those streaks, and they just blend together and bleed and look like what you see in the Jaguar painting. That's how that's done. It's wet. It's called wet into wet. And it is a stylization. Another little element on the Jaguar that's really cool is the vortice coming off the the wingtips, but you see it more on the right wingtip. That one little streak of white it's subtle. It gives the airplane motion, and it's dead on correct at low altitude. That's exactly what you'd see. So it's those little touches. But to answer your question, it's all the streaking and blurring that you see there is wet paint into a wet board. That's how that's done.
And then you put the subject over top of it, or you just quickly streak around it?
Yeah, he says on top.
Yeah, and the final touch when it's dry is you go in with just a little, real super thin triple aught brush and lay in the very top line in white or light gray, and then that just nails it. Then now it's coming off the airplane. I was taught how to do speed lines by my uncle, the engineer at Republic, and R.G. Smith calls it seaweed, but it's used to a great effect. And I'll just tell you guys that much like Carol Burnett tugging her ear at the end of every show, every painting I have ever done has one subtle speed line as a tribute to my uncle. So every single thing I've ever done has that. It's usually coming off the vertical at the top, and it's just a little salute, little touch, and it always works. So.
Oh, that is cool.
True confession.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mike. It looks like you've used a vanishing point in creating this.
Mike didn't do this one.
Oh, okay. But it looks like a vanishing point was done in this, and I'm sure you've probably done similar artwork like this as well. I would imagine that would make the artwork more difficult to work with when you have to always reference back to the vanishing point.
Yeah, well, we use a very technical method called fudgeometrics.
Fudgeometrics?
And that means that you put, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but this was Linwood's gift to all of us, is that you can put the vanishing point or any of those technical guidelines anywhere you darn want to and just make it look good. That was Jack's whole thing, and we'll see it in some of the covers we're going to talk about of his, is that it has to look good. It has to knock you over the head, get your attention, and make you buy the model. That's the job. So So, you know, a guy like Keith Ferris would measure. His artwork had a whole different purpose. He was recreating historical moments or exact moments in time or something like that. That's a whole different animal. That's a whole different requirement. On a model box top, make it look good, whatever it takes, man. That's what you do.
Well, it's funny you mention that because the very next thing I had queued up were the historic ones.
Okay. All right.
And I remember buying the Belenko kit, the MiG-25. That's off, you know, where he landed in Japan and they tried to cover it with tarps.
Yes.
And of course, the famous Roy Brown Red Baron, which that photograph is actually, I mean, that painting is actually technically, you know, probably pretty inaccurate because it was a low altitude encounter. But I was going to ask you about, you know, the dangers, the pitfalls of doing historic artwork.
The MiG-25, I mean, you know, landed up near Sapporo, Japan, and they put tarps over it. And that cover, all I could think about when the first time I saw that cover is, I've seen that photo, but it works. It's beautiful. And again, you've got a little bit of light and dark, mostly, you know, green, white. It's very subtle in its colors, and I think that hews to the historic moment aspect of it. He's not trying to create a look where it's like, God, the MiG-25, greatest, coolest looking airplane ever. You know, that's that. You look at that and you know exactly what's going on. And Belenko was, you know, that was quite a revelation when they looked at that airplane and found vacuum tubes in it and all this stuff. You know, but that cover. From a historical standpoint, nails it. Even the lighting, the fact that the lighting is behind the airplane, casting that big shadow coming toward us, you know, beautifully done, very effective, and again, just nails that moment when all those guys are walking around going, I can't believe this has happening. You know?
Yeah. I read his book, MiG Pilot, and I remember him talking about, because he was still a product of the Soviet system, and when he of course he overran the end of the runway because he landed on some small regional strip. It's the only thing he could find. He was on vapors, and when he got out of the airplane, this bus pulled up full of Japanese, and of course they all had their cameras. They start clicking away. Well, being part of the Soviet system, and he taught in his book that, you know, that's not allowed to take pictures of the airplane, which is ironic that he was defecting with the airplane, but he still had that mentality. So he pulls out his little pistol they issue the pilots and pops a couple of rounds in the air. And of course, in Japan, nobody owns a gun. So when that happened, he said they all just put their cameras on the ground and bowed and stepped back.
Yes. Honorific. Exactly.
But, well, you know, when that MiG-15 defected during the Korean War, the pilot who brought that in, he just landed at an airbase wrong way and pulled up on the ramp, and nobody, because they look so much alike, it was a while before anybody realized they had a North Korean jet on the ramp.
Right.
But I assume that doing historical artwork comes with some inherent dangers. Probably the biggest one having all the history geeks tear apart everything you've done. You know, like, oh, this is not right, and da-da-da, and da-da-da. But like I was saying earlier, from everything I've read about the Roy Brown encounter with the Red Baron, it took place at very low altitude, and here we seem to have them soaring up in the clouds. But
and the fact that they have the portrait on the cover, you know, takes it to a different place as well.
That's true.
Yeah, it's not the explosive action type cover. It's a moment. And a final footnote on the MiG-25. Notice there are 3 red stars on the left side there, and it says top secret. And you know, a nice subtle way of just saying this was something different. This was something special, and kudos. You know, good stuff.
Good for them. Well, the next one. Well, I'll tell you what. While I've got it queued up, let's go ahead. This is one of my favorite box arts, and it's got to be a Linwood. That's the X-15 from Aurora.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Linwood did about a dozen Aurora covers, maybe a little more. It was kind of a side gig that he had, and Revell, you know, okayed it, and it was all fine. But Linwood did the X-15 for Aurora because they had so much flack that their kit didn't look anything like the real airplane. So this is this gets into a little bit of a truth in advertising thing. Aurora took a 3-view. I should have sent that to you. Sorry, but anyway, they took a 3-view out of Aviation Week that was what they thought the airplane would look like, and then they went and built a model of it. And it didn't. It had a bubble canopy. I mean, it didn't look anything like the X-15. So Linwood made the airplane with a few little surprises that I'd like to share with you, if I may.
Please.
And the Glue Troopers. All right, take a good look at it. Take a breath and look at this stunning holy cow, I can't believe a human being did this beautiful artwork, model box top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Look at the cockpit.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the tail fin.
Mm-hmm.
They're both bent to the right of the airplane. You see it?
Yeah, now that you mention it, yes.
They're bent to the right. Why would he do that? So you could see the pilot,
Uh-huh.
and so you could read NASA.
Uh-huh.
I'm serious. Okay?
I absolutely believe it.
Now, look at the tail. Look at the horizontal stabilators in the back there, right?
Uh-huh.
On the real airplane, they're swept back.
Uh-huh.
On this airplane, they're not, and that's what's inside the kit. So that was his subtle way of saying, you're going to buy this. You're going to spend 98 cents of your hard-earned newspaper route money, and it ain't what you think. But it is so beautiful. And again, let's talk about it. Cool and warm colors, yellow and black, yellow and blue,
Mm-hmm.
bright and light and dark. Holy cow! Look at the exhaust, right?
Mm-hmm.
And bright and dull. Look at the reflections and the highlights, and then look at the sky and the earth. So he's got all 6 of those elements just screaming at you. And I submitted this. Max had asked me for what I thought was the most dramatic. This is my vote right here.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I bought the kit and took it home and built it and said it doesn't look anything like the airplane on the cover, but. I threw the model away and kept the box top, kind of thing.
That says something when you're buying the model for the box art.
Yeah, guilty as charged. But this, in my estimation, and Jack was the master, the absolute master of tweaking and changing and doing whatever he wanted to do to make it look right. And the final poster child to tell you about, look at the U.S. Air Force title on the left side of the airplane.
Uh-huh.
What does it say? U period S period Air Force.
Uh-huh.
Right? Look at it on the right side.
USAF.
Well, it's about hit, but on the fuselage.
Oh, it's all one word.
No dots.
It's half the size and unreadable.
Yeah.
And the rule there is you only have to tell the story one time. So rather than distract your eye to make you read the other side of the airplane, he just kind of buried it.
Ha ha. The master of technique.
All those little touches, God love him. There was no one could do it like Jack.
You ever see the original box of the kit?
Sorry, I lost you there.
Did you ever see the original box for the kit?
Not for this one. I've seen original Linwoods, but I never saw this one. And the thing that is mind blowing is that he didn't paint much larger than the boxes. Maybe 120% up. I mean, they weren't like big paintings reduced to fit on the bike. He painted small. So all that detail, the lettering, all that stuff you see, he just laid that down, and I was just in awe when I first saw that stuff. First cover I ever saw of his, the original painting was the Huey with the Army guys jumping out into the rice paddy.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was a box top that he'd cut out and put up on the wall. It was the original art.
Huh.
It was not much bigger than the box. It was like, you got to be kidding me, man.
No, I've seen some of his prints that were made into box art, and yeah, they're not much bigger, not at all. Meanwhile, the original box for this thing, the X-15 was white with red trim. It really was. I mean, it was
That's
horrible.
probably one of the reasons they hired him to fix it. I don't think I'd have bought that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, some of these are Linwoods, and these are what I call the realistic ones, and that they kind of, from a distance, at a first glance, you're not sure it's not a photo or something. And as you guys are aware, the Spitfire is my favorite box art ever.
Yep.
I know these are kind of small, but tell you what, let me stretch these out just a little bit, and we'll go over them. Now, this Boeing 727 at the top, I think that's Mexicana. Except for the pilot's windows that are glazed over, it almost looks a little bit like photorealistic. And I think the P3 does look photorealistic. Of course, being in the dark helps a little bit. But I don't know if these are Linwoods or not, but I know the Spitfire is.
The P3, the Spitfire are Jack's. And the thing about the Spitfire, that was and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think those were those 132nd?
Yes, that was part of his 132nd scale Revell fighter series.
Those were his absolute favorite.
Yeah.
And in Jack's language, he said, I loved them because you could get real juicy with them.
Because of the large size?
Meaning he could go go nuts with the detailing again. But these were painted larger because the boxes were larger. But he loved those covers, and his favorite area. If you guys don't know, he was a pilot. He was a civilian instructor during World War II. So he flew all the warbirds that he painted that were Army Air Forces. His favorite airplane in the world was the P-38. And if you look at his Revell P-38 cover with Dick Bong and the engine feathered and everything, you can see it in that painting, man. It's off the scale. The Spit would be right up in that category with the way he's used the sunlight on the side of the airplane, which is flat paint, right? Mm-hmm. But it's glistening in the sunlight. And of course, you got the dead bottom view of the one peeling away and the contrails, and it's just classic Linwood. So, good choice, Max.
This picture is the thing that always grabbed me about this photograph. Although, I mean, obviously, I don't really want to be a fighter pilot in combat being shot at by an expert enemy, but it made me want to go out and fly a Spitfire because the white underbelly, you're talking about the contrast, the white underbelly against the camouflage with the sun bouncing off of it, for me, it just tapped on every cylinder. And I remember that being on my brother's wall, and I would just sit there and stare at it for a while. Just amazing. And like you say, it tells a story. You see the 109 running away, and clearly, the wingman's peeling after it, and you could just tell the guy apparently made an unsuccessful pass on him, and now they're going to get some payback.
Yeah, and you see, and then that's a 109 that's escaping there, which just literally flew through both those airplanes. But who's counting, right? You see now, the 109 right in the middle. Yeah.
Now,
and to have made that happen the way you're looking at it, he would have had to have flown through those two Spitfires to get there.
Somebody might be missing a wingtip off that we can't see. Now, again with the A3 here, the Sky Warrior, and to perhaps a little bit lesser extent the F-111, the sun, the angle of the sun, and the background it creates is, I mean, let's face it, the A3 is not the sexiest looking airplane, but you put that sky out there, and all of a sudden it's like you just can't not look at it.
Yeah, and of course that's the great Shigeo Koike, and he used the Jack Linwood of Japan with the Hasegawa kits, and he's in a class by himself as well. Look at the backlit clouds. That's another little contrast. You've got this machine metal, straight lines, straight edges. It's a machine in the airplanes, and then you look at the clouds, which are very organic, and even the contrast between those two shapes are very, very, very effective. Another basic, rule number one is you never have anything in the background that's darker than what's on the subject.
Oh, okay.
So look at the stripes and the core shadow along the top of the fuselage, and then look at that cloud just above the left wing. That's pretty darn close. And again, that's done for effect because you're treading into dangerous territory visually by doing that, and he pulls it off absolutely. He just nails it. Mm-hmm. It's just ever so slightly lighter than the darkest blacks or darkest colors on the jet. And what is it? Where is it? Dead center on the cover. So what he's doing there, just like Jack, is he's attracting your eye. You're looking at something you don't even know what it is, but it's like I'm looking at it's a cloud. Look at that A3. Oh my God! That's the thought process behind the design of that. The Blue Angels F-11, one of my favorite airplanes, being a Long Island guy, Grumman and Beth Page. Look where the bridge is.
I was going to ask you about that. It's going through the airplane.
Look at the yellow line coming just below the cockpit. Rule number one: don't ever line up anything on the subject with a line on the background. He's close. It's not exact, but he's close. And again, you're treading into that very dangerous visual territory where you can get in trouble. But he pulls it off by making it just a different enough angle that it isn't. Because what that does, if you see that where something's going through the airplane, it just stops it from moving. It stops it dead, and that just kills your painting. So that is not the case here. It comes close, but even I'll take it another step in terms of detail. Look where the bridge comes out of the airplane, down that little dark area right behind the canopy. Yep. Bingo, nailed it. So I love stuff like that. It just shows a lot of good thought and design. And somebody was paying attention, and it makes a beautiful cover.
And the flapjack, I actually picked that picture just because I thought, and I think that may be by the same artist. I think all three of these are. He has a certain style that he's going to point out, but I thought it was one of the most photorealistic paintings that I had seen. And that's why I picked it. It was obviously the thing never flew, and certainly not off a carrier, so that's a fictionalized.
Yeah, without a doubt, I think I can say this on behalf of any aviation artist who ever did a box cover or anything. The two hardest things to paint on an airplane are the dark blue early 50s, it was called gloss sea blue, I believe was the color, and Vietnam camo.
Really?
Holy cow, yeah. Because it's so many different colors and so many different lighting conditions. And you look at that flapjack, how much blue is in that cover? Not a lot. But your eye is doing all the work. Oh, that's a dark blue airplane. Yeah, okay, cool. Right?
Yeah.
But you look at, and again, a blue airplane on a blue ocean, treading into that coffin corner for artists, like you could really get in big trouble. And he's got that beautiful light gray carrier doing the, into the wind turn there. And it's all working. But yeah, Koike was just an absolute master. The props on that are just exquisite. And again, the lighting and all, but there's not a lot of actual blue paint on that airplane, and yet your eye is doing all the work.
Well, that kind of carries us over to what I consider to be sort of the opposite of this photorealistic, and that's the idealized images.
Okay.
That's what I'm calling it. That's my phrase.
That's close.
But here we have, the Cutlass and the motorcycle, ITC's motorcycle, and we have the Lindbergh Cutlass. And the style, now I realize these are both old kits. So these probably date back to the 50s. But the artwork is too clean. I mean, there's not a drop of oil or, and the flaming red. I mean, it's a style. It probably wouldn't do much today. But I when I look at those, I think, well, the upside is you really see what the airplane looks like or the motorcycle looks like. The downside is it almost looks like a cartoon.
Yeah, it's an early Ray Gadke cover, airbrush. And I sent you an email. This is the first model that I ever paint. I had this. This is about 1953.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, it's about 1953. I was in second grade or something like that, and I got this model. It was huge because I was a little kid. And I looked, and I say this with love, no disrespect to Ray, but I looked at this and I thought these jets were attacking an enemy aircraft carrier.
It does have that look.
That they were diving down to blow up the ship, and it was like, well, wait a minute, isn't that's the USS Wasp? What? It was confusing. Another thing you never ever do is touch one part of an airplane you never touch the tip of something on an airplane to the tip of something else on another airplane.
I noticed the wingtip and the tail, yeah.
The right vertical hitting that wingtip is like, but it's all working. But I bought this model. It was that stunning fluorescent blue plastic. And I was just learning how to paint, and I put the metallic silver paint on the back part of the fuselage or on the blue plastic, and it was. I know this is a family channel. I'm trying to get the right language here. It was stunning. It was absolutely. It took my breath away. It was just like, wow, look at that. And so yeah, it was a great kit. Again, early pre-Revell anything at that time. There was this one, the X3, the XF91. Those were the early Lindbergh kits. But Ray was on his way to greatness with the later covers that he did. There were so many stunning, beautiful Lindbergh covers that he did. And for any artist, there's a pathway. You look at my early stuff, Linwood's, anybody's early stuff looks different than the stuff you are familiar with in their, in the peak of their career. But, on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of effectiveness, it's a 10. Accuracy, it's a 0. And it's okay. And look at the speed lines. Mm-hmm. And those are airbrush. That's done in a different way than what I was describing before. The airplane in the I'll say this and we'll move on to the next cover. The airplane in the foreground was done from the model. The artist can take a photo of the model, and you can see how it looks. Look at the other two; those are just drawn.
Yeah.
You see how different they look?
It's actually, I was going to bring that up. Is that the other two don't have nearly the, I guess you'd call it the precision.
Yeah, and the final shoot a drop. Those two other airplanes are the identical view. He just banked one of them. You see it?
Uh-huh.
They're the identical shape.
I see that now. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens when you look at the clock and go, "Oh crap, I got 2.5 hours left." Oh my god.
Well,
but again, said with a lot of love and respect.
Well, that brings up a since we go from the idealized to the dramatic, and I love Bob Steele's work. We've already talked about the aircraft carrier, how the jet's coming in from the wrong side, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a Mayday return to the ship. But there's like somebody else grabbing the hook, out of my way. But the Thunderbolt is actually the one. And of course, with the Adams Thor missile, there's no way those guys would be that close to a launching Thor.
Right.
But the sun bursting behind those Thunderbolts, I'm like, okay, that's not even close to subtle.
Yeah, and you know what, Max, this brings up a stunning point. The Ranger was a ginormous aircraft carrier model. It was like, the kid was 22 inches long or so, whatever. It was a large box that contained that beautiful artwork. The Thunderbolt was one of the wasn't that one of the like 49 cent or 69
yeah, that's like a 1/72 scale.
Yeah, so he had less visual, physical area to get that message across. And look at it, light and dark, bright, all that stuff I keep saying is just screaming out of that Thunderbolt cover. And it had to work because it was small. The carrier had a lot more stuff going on because it was larger. And I will confess unabashedly to all my dear friends on the channel and everybody watching that Ranger, $2.98 freaking cents. Had to save for weeks for that kit. The first model I ever bought in my life at age 12, just to have the box cover.
There you go.
That's how I'm standing on the wing of a Fury. It's got to be pretty windy if you're doing that, but you're hanging on and you can see the pilot, you can see all that stuff. I knew he was. I'd seen the Bridges of Tokori with Willie Holden, so I knew they land from the left. That isn't right. Did I care? No. It was just so freaking stunning. It was so. It's what I call loose tightness or tight looseness, however you want to say it. It's a painting. It's very painterly, and if you want to count rivets, everything's there. But one of the most compelling covers ever done is that. And the final thing to say for all the glue troopers that have built either the Forrestal or this one or any of the other Revell carriers, the USS Forrestal was the first super kit that they ever did. It was molded in two colors. You remember that the deck was a flat royal blue?
Okay.
If you ever built a Forrestal in the 56 issue, the deck was blue with yellow stripes, and it was like, huh? What is that? The Ranger was a charcoal gray deck with white stripes, and when you put those decals down, just like the Cutlass, it was like, whoa, it was just stunning. So that was a real breakthrough. It was the same exact model. They changed the stern, they changed the numbers and the decals and stuff, but it's the Forrestal redone as the Ranger. But just one of the ultimate. And the last thing to mention, look at the horizon. It's tilted ever so slightly to the right. See, that's tilted down to the right. Which way is the jet turning?
To the right.
That is taking your eye right to the ship.
The one thing I will say is that the very first ship I ever painted was a model aircraft carrier. I don't think it was this one, but the only thing I painted was the landing strip and the white markings, and I was like 8 years old. But the rest of it was just the gray of the model ship. But that made it pop so much. It was all freehand painted. It was a terrible job, but I loved it just because, wow, look at that, the black and the white on the gray. And that crane that they have on all those model carriers?
Yes, right.
Well, when I was a little kid, I looked at the crane, and I remember I'm like 7 or 8 years old, and I'm thinking, oh, this must be so they can go fishing to feed the crew.
Okay.
Child logic.
That works.
Now,
but you know what,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. The fact, what we're describing here, and for everybody watching this right now, I'm sure we've all experienced it, we were making something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The lines were shaky, the decals peeled off and wrapped around your fingers, and all that stuff. But when it was said and done, you put that thing up on the shelf in your room or on top of your dresser, or wherever it went, you made that.
Oh, my heart beat with pride.
Yeah, it was. You did something. It was very cool. It was very special. So anyway,
the next thing I wanted to go over here, I'll let you guys look at Steve and Ken for a second. Don't know why. But is engineering type box art. which I've got to be honest, I know some people don't like it, but I was
Mm.
always kind of mesmerized by those Renwall blueprint kits.
Yes.
They had this air of super authenticity because, ooh, look, engineering drawings and the hatches open and everything. And of course the Vanguard with all the tankage inside it. And I'm kind of like, wow, you know, so, I was just, thought maybe you'd have some, input or opinion on the engineering style, box
You
art.
bet. Yeah, you bet. Well, the first thing to mention is look at the Renwall logo. It's got a T-square. The word blueprint is written on a T-square, which is a drafting straight edge that you use to get everything 90 degrees perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got engineering calipers below it, the metal V-shaped, measuring things for engineering, or a compass. I couldn't tell what. I think maybe it is a compass. But you've got engineering tools in the logo. How cool is that?
I always thought that was awesome.
Yeah, and then you've got the blueprint grid, the ones that did it for me with the missiles, the Nike
Mm-hmm.
Ajax and the Matador and all that stuff.
Yep.
On a blueprint grid, didn't get any better than that. As far as the Vanguard, there's a little thing to mention, and again we get back into the truth in advertising. They couldn't do a kit like that today. I bought it because I thought the Vanguard was a really cool rocket, and I took it home and I built it with all the tanks and tubes and stuff inside. And it looked like a Disney ride. It didn't look anything like the real missile. And I was a little disappointed for the money. I think that was $169, but it wasn't a cheap kit. But you learned about, here's the thing. Going right to the point of the engineering thing for you, Max.
Uh-huh.
If you had a school science project of what a multi-stage liquid fuel rocket, how a liquid fuel rocket worked, this would be the kit you would build and take to school for show and tell.
Absolutely.
The other kit that would fit that was the old Strombecker 3-story moon rocket that had the clear side that had cardboard inserts.
Yes, yeah, the one the little shuttle thing on top.
Yeah, I mean it was cheating, but it showed you what the inside of the rocket would have been with those cardboard inserts.
Exactly. So again, I guess what's coming out of all this discussion is that the models serve different purposes, or the model box tops conveyed different ways that you would use or build or enjoy the model. They were different types of a similar product. The thing that was common is the skill involved in making these things, gluing things together and painting and decals and all that stuff. But the Renwall kits were truly breakthrough, and of course you had all the visible, visible woman, visible man, all those with the plastic fronts that showed inside stuff. It was like a three-dimensional cutaway drawing. That's really what it was. So they served a great purpose, and the Nike Ajax was a stunning model. If you remember, on the direction sheet on Renwall, they had blue lines to show you where to put the cement.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? There was a name. I don't remember the name for it, but it showed you on the direction sheet where exactly to put or not put the cement, so something would move or turn.
Oh yeah, and they had a little Ghostbusters thing over the glue, and.
The Visible V8 is the largest selling model kit of all time.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that.
It's been in production since the mid-50s.
Oh, wow.
And it just sells every year.
Of course, it wouldn't be complete if we did not include, and I guess it's Linwood's Orange Navy Chickasaw helicopter. Well, I know in the Army is the H-19, but it's a HO4S1, I guess, for the Navy.
Yeah, I still call it an S-55, but shoot me,
same. And this taps on all the things you were talking about, color and contrast. And there's a scene shows action. I mean, this orange helicopter with the bright white snow behind it and the gold wings literally does reach out and grab you by the throat.
Yeah, this was the one when you said, this is the most bombastic, coolest, pick any adjective, this is the one that gets my vote, because it has every element we discussed. It's got Linwoodisms that are just dripping off every inch of this thing. If you've ever seen an S-55, it's the size of an apartment building. I mean, it's a huge machine. We had one land at Zons Airport when I was a line boy. I refueled it, and I had to climb up the side to get to it was like being next to a building. It was a large machine. The figures are painted almost not quite twice as large as they would. If you look at the pilot.
Yeah.
But look at the guys below there; those are Amazon-sized. That's maybe 1.5 times larger than the figures would be next to that machine. And does it work? Oh, hell yes, because you're, the parka is a design element, just everything about it. Those are models that posed in those positions for him, wearing the parka and the uniform. And there isn't 1 millimeter of this cover that doesn't have something going on.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, the guy waving on the left side, look at his hand, and look at the fins on the copter, and look at the shape in between there.
So he's highlighting that.
Yeah, it's called spatial tension. First thing you look at.
Mm-hmm.
First thing you look at. Yeah. Oh, it's an orange helium. Oh, he's waving. Look at that, right? Look at the space around the guy on the right who's bending down right underneath the nose wheels.
Yeah.
And look at all the stuff going on in there. So
and you notice none of the cargo ropes block the nose wheel view.
Yeah. Now, in terms of reality, I remember thinking when I saw this, and by now I'm like, 13, 14, it's a famous artist or famous aircraft series. They're up on top of a mountain and the copter's delivering supplies. Why didn't he just land down at the base? They got to carry all that stuff all the way down in the snow to get down to the base. Why didn't he just...
Unless they're uphill on a remote site, and that's where they need the equipment right there. And that saved them from lugging it up the hill. Ha-ha.
Oh, okay. Well,
that was in the infantry. We're the ones that had to lug it up the hill.
That's why you have the channel and I'm a guest. Okay, cool. Yeah. But the tail rotor, the main rotor blades being orange, I don't believe they were on the real copter, but
No.
it doesn't matter. There isn't anything about. Look at the window frames on the door above the word Navy.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of rendering on those windows, he could have just had dark windows on an orange background, but look at it's like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he worked fast, but there's a lot of work in those window frames. The venting around the engines, the highlight on the nose, everything about it is absolute perfection. And the blue and orange are complementary colors.
And he probably cranked this out in a couple of days.
Yeah. You're probably going to hate me for saying this, but when you watch TV and a commercial, look at how many commercials have blue and orange in them.
Oh, okay.
Just file that away next time you're watching television. Just look at a commercial try and find a commercial that does not have blue and orange in it.
Peter just chimed in. He said, "Where's the blowing snow?"
I was just going to say that.
Frozen ice, frozen solid.
Well, there's the blowing snow is right where it has to be against the guy's parka on the left, and the two guys, you got just a little trace so that you know those rotor blades are blowing the snow around. In real life, there would be a whiteout under that helicopter.
Of course, we've made an assumption they're making a delivery. Chuck said Yeti. What if they're stealing Yeti eggs? Get it out of here quick before Mama wakes up.
Yeah, look where the red flag is on that little pole that comes out of the
yeah, we just sit there docilely like that under that rotor blast.
Yeah, the orange antenna going up into the mountain in the background off the base there. The ship.
I wasn't sure what that was. I guess it is an antenna. Okay.
There isn't, and in the mountain in the background. What?
Yeah.
Mount Whitney was in Antarctica. I didn't know. Just all that stuff.
At first, I thought it was a cloud, but you're right. It's a mountain, and there's no bottom to the mountain. It hovers in space.
Maybe it's an iceberg. But again, Jack's gift to all of us was his ability to do that, to pull that kind of stuff, and make it as believable. You just look at it and go, yeah, oh my gosh, sure, I gotta have this model. Take it home and build it. That was it. So perfect ending to the discussion. Yeah.
The opinion I've gleaned of Jack over time is that he was the master of the cheat because he knew the cheats we wanted. I mean, he it's like the Corsair where, you showed how the Corsair's spinner or nose was not really in line with the view.
It was bent to the left.
But it looked better because of that. And I remember the job is to sell the model. And
Sarah Jane commented that the helicopter front wheels look a lot longer than the rear ones, and good catch. They're in the track of the nose wheels are closer together than the main wheels, so he kind of pushed the perspective just a touch, and they're hanging down because the oleo is fully extended. So he kind of played with that, but that's there you go. It's those little touches that nail it. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to share these thoughts with everybody. It's always a joy.
Well, Mike, we appreciate it. I'm going to go. We're at the halfway point. I'm going to start the comedy part of our show by trying to build this tank in real time.
Okay.
Do you want to hang on, or you want to say goodnight, or what do you want?
I'll sign off on the phone, but I'll watch. And greetings to everybody, and hope everybody's well. And thank you again. I really appreciate it.
Well, we thank you, Mike. Take care. Bye bye.
When Atlantis acquired all of the molds from the Hobbyco sale, they got all the Revell and they got all the Aurora stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They got multiple Linwood original prints.
Yeah, I expect you to get me one at some point. You don't need that. I'll take it and give it a good home.
Yes, I rescued them from being under a stash of magazines one day.
God. All right. Well, gentlemen, now is the time for all of your witticisms to snark, because I'm going to try and build the tank in real time and in the show on time. I cannot tell all you guys how much I need this, because after the week I've had, I'm like, I have got to decompress, and this is what these live streams are really a great way to do that. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and I will read the instructions.
He has not practiced this yet either. So
Oh, this is
his first
I just
time.
laid the parts out here, and that's it.
Right out of the box.
And it does have a little. I gotta grab. You know what? I gotta grab my little snippers, and I think I'm going to use a little glue this time. I know it's a snap tight, but let's see. All right, I'll be right back. What is it? A Volkswagen?
Can somebody time him? Can we get a clock going here on one of the troopers?
This is where we get to talk about him.
Right here, Ken. I just went to get the glue and the snippers. All right.
Yes, Lance, that would be interesting. Lance suggests that at one time we all build the same kit at the same time to see who builds it quicker.
Sure. Yeah. Not who builds it best, who builds it quicker. That's the new thing. All right. Stopwatch.
Win.
Okay, I got the clock going. All right, first things first. Let's see. Tab A into slot B is the wheels. And it looks like they're all...
Nobody can hear you, Steve and I very well still.
Nobody? What?
Well, there's several people saying...
us very well.
Yeah, they're saying or mumble or volume's real low. Or...
That may be the Skype thing. Okay. See if this improves matters any.
All right, we're just the comic relief.
That's right. All right. Wait a minute. Are those wheels different? No, it looks like all the... No! Aha! Mm-hmm. Okay. The little roller idlers up front and back are different, so...
Okay.
These... Where's my snippy snips?
All right, we have very low volume.
Talk louder.
I'm trying.
Now, make sure I'm putting this in the right place.
Oh, okay. Well, Chuck says I'm okay. Steve is low.
All right.
That means you gotta yell louder, Steve.
I guess so.
By the way, you notice this has solid rubber band tracks. No having to mate them. They're one piece. That's nice.
Well, that should make it easier.
By the way, guys, it's raining down here in Jacksonville. Oh, by the way, little story to tell you while I'm doing this. I'll turn. Well, you know, can you guys hear me? Okay. I'll shout. I was
Just move the mic over where you're at.
I was. Hold on. Okay. Trying not to launch this across the floor. I'm moving the microphone over here.
Jack wants to know if you have any kids in your life for help.
Unfortunately, the kid's grown and gone. Believe it or not, and I'm not joking or making this up, I was scouted by a talent agency. Like an industrial. I have to thank Ian at Hurricane Hobbies.
What, they want to test something on you?
Probably. I think they want to test drugs or something. But anyway, no, Ian, apparently some... Oh, I'll put the microphone over here. Apparently, some financial institution that handles people's retirements has hired a casting company to round up retirees or people nearing retirement, and I only have 3.5 years left, assuming I can go the whole duration, to do people have interesting hobbies for a one-day shoot for, I guess, a promotional film or something that they're doing. And apparently, I guess one of the representatives of the company started going to hobby shops and asking, hey, about people, these retirees and their hobbies. And Ian apparently recommended, according to the lady, Ian recommended me, contact him. I meant to go see Ian and ask him about that today. But so I submitted my picture and everything today. It's not like I don't think it's like a TV, I mean, maybe it's a TV commercial, but I think it's more like a promotional thing. But anyway, it's like, okay, what the heck,
Hey, Max, turn the camera, the main one, more towards you so we're not just looking at your chair and your back.
Okay. Better.
A little better.
Well, Ken, I gotta, look, the more my face is hidden, the better the ratings are on this thing, so,
True.
Oh, careful, because I may not be the only one. This would probably have higher ratings if we did audio only. I almost said something snarky, but I was like, the minute I do that, one of these pieces is going to fly across the room. Don't tempt the fates. So,
This seems to be going much more swimmingly than the last film.
and that's when the curse hit.
Plastic Slave Wanted said that apparently is referring to why their talent agency was coming after you. He said, for your spelt trim figure, your devilish good looks and sparkling personality?
It's funny you should mention that. One of the things they said they wanted a face picture, and they said you can take it with your cell phone. So they want they want a full body shot. So I got the picture of me standing out by Tarby's tube, and I was like, yeah, if that doesn't scare them away. But then again, it's for retirees, so maybe that one guy's bug is another guy's feature. Yeah, I'll let you guys in on a little secret that I'm about to broadcast the universe. A while back, they were talking about doing a remake of Hogan's Heroes, and I applied to be Sergeant Schultz.
That was appropriate. Casting.
Yeah, it would be great. Of course, that was a long time ago. I was younger. Than it was supposed to be a Mel Gibson film pre Meltdown, but it never happened. So, but now I'd actually be about the right age. Hans Schultz. That Hogan's Heroes in Germany is called the Sergeant Schultz show. All right, next.
Hey, Max.
Hey, Max.
Have you ever told anybody or online here or whatever that you were in some real long feature-length movies?
Well, I was an extra. I get about 7 seconds of FaceTime. I was in From the Earth to the Moon and First Time Felon. And that scene, the main scene I was in First Time Felon got completely cut out. The other scene that I was just an extra in the background, you can't even see me. From the Earth to the Moon, I did get about, 14 seconds of FaceTime. That was episode 8, I think, the one about Apollo 13, which all takes place in Mission Control. Oh, sorry, I should be doing this under the camera.
He was one of the Mission Control people.
Moker, Mission Operations Controller.
Yeah.
And
they gave him these thick black rimmed glasses
that I kept taking off when they weren't looking. They uglified me.
What did you call them?
Birth control glasses. That's what we called them in the Army. The Army issued like the big black horn rims like your grandparents wore, and we called them birth control glasses. Let's see. All right. So now I need...
Lemire Crazy wants to know if you're on IMDb.
Actually, hold on. I am.
I'm checking right now.
I am. But guess why? Because one of the glue troopers is a data manager for him.
Oh, really?
Yes. I hope I didn't get you in any trouble there. Yeah, he built the page for me. God bless him. I'm not giving his name because I don't want to get him in credit. I don't want. Yes, I'm on IMDb. I'm a star.
So Bill says you're 6:45 is on your thing so far.
Okay. All right, that's. You know what? I just realized they don't number the parts here. They just show you the shape and figure you'll figure it out. You're smart. You're building a model.
It's not like you got a whole lot of choices.
Okay, that goes there. Ah, there it is. Okay. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I can't take me.
William says BCGs, Navy has them too. Ground frames were tagged safe sex glasses.
Whoops, hold on. Yeah. And Stupor Duck. Who remembers Stupor Duck? Okay. So now, is this the part I'm looking for? I believe it is. Okay. It's this piece right here. I think that is it. Then this one of these big Mogator parts goes on top of it. Ah, that one. That looks like them, so that goes there. This seems to fit, to hold a lot tighter. The VW, all the parts popped right off. These seem to be staying in place. Okay. And that goes on the front. Well, they're supposed to be snap tights with the Volkswagen. I had to glue it together to get everything to stay. This seems to have a much tighter fit. I think part of it is because that VW had these long, these broad parts that, you know, popped off real easy. Because you get leverage on them if you hit the part the wrong way. Okay. Am I doing that right? Yeah, that's what it says. This should go on here. And that should go here.
This is nearly as much fun as the VW was.
All I gotta do is drop a part. Yeah, this is getting boring. It's going together so well. Where's the drama?
Where's the 5-year-old?
Well, that's true.
No cough syrup.
No cough syrup tonight. And well, I may have. I got training on Monday, so and I don't know if I'm going to go back tomorrow night or Monday morning. But man, okay. When I go back, that's when they start the line-oriented flight training, where you do everything. And this is where you do like a trip. You do 2 legs out and back, and they start throwing weather at you and mechanical problems, and it's going to be real busy. You know, okay. Let's see.
So this is good for getting out of your head for a while.
And I need that. I have got to get this out of my head for a while. I mean, it'll mess with your sleep. It's just, you want to do everything right, and you're trying to learn so much to learn so fast. You are drinking from the fire hose. And like you've heard me harp before, everything's so radically different. But I'm getting a grip on it. It seems to be coming together. And I got a lot of work ahead of me, but I think it's going to go okay. I mean, I'm confident everything's going to be fine, but you just don't until it's done, you know?
You're just too hard on yourself.
I want to do good.
You want to be perfect.
Yeah.
And what's the opposite of perfect?
Good enough. All right. This. Yeah, that's right. Man, this is going together the way it's supposed to.
Bill wants to know if you have a chat button to push.
Well, I do occasionally let one slip in the cockpit. Which is, you think it's not cool in a simulator. Here we go. All right. That snapped into place with some authority. I mean, this is, the VW is probably a better looking kit detail-wise, but this one actually is, all the parts are fitting great. All right, we got the chassis done.
Look at that.
Let's see, the decals go on the sides and on the rear of the turret. Okay, so they don't even go on here. All right, now.
No major faux pas yet. Where's the fun in
The
that?
day is young, Ken. The day is young. There's one thing there's always time to do. It's screw things up. All right. Hold on. Nay, getting out of order here. That, then that, then that. So.
We got 4 parts left.
And that, Your Honor, is when stuff came. That's when it all came apart at the seams, Your Honor. Parts were flying everywhere. Godzilla came to life and melted the whole tank. You better believe it. It's not Max's models if we don't mention World War II aircraft, Godzilla, or complain about something. Darn these kids.
So where is the Godzilla?
On the shelf where it lives. In a van by the river.
Do you have a little one you can like stick next to the model while you're assembling it?
Lee Rephrase says, oh, this kid must be blonde-proof.
Okay, now that was funny. That was a good one.
You can't see the Godzilla. You can't see the Godzilla.
Woody? Right there.
He's not in frame. He's not in frame.
Ken? Where are my fingers at?
What? I have.
Can't see it. You can't see it.
I don't really want to know.
Ken, it's right there at the top of the picture.
Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. We got it. All right. We got it.
Okay, let's see. No what?
Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. Oh, okay.
Okay, so.
That was a worm.
Well, it's a little Godzilla. No room in here for the big one. Sides. Creeps me out when he's up there staring down at me all the time. I keep wanting to go.
See, we can't see the build camera live. We only see you.
Well,
See the build camera live? Yeah.
Ken, are you watching? Are you just on Skype, or are you watching on the YouTube?
I'm watching both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the top-down shot of him building.
Live or?
Well, it's about a 14-second delay. All right, hold on. I got to put the stickers on it before I do that.
That live or Memorex?
It's Memorex. God, who remembers that?
Yeah, I do.
Is it live or is it Memorex?
That was one of your competitors, wasn't it, Steve?
Sure it was.
What's the story on that? What do you mean, one of your competitors?
When I worked at Maxell.
Oh, that's right. Forgot you were in that business.
Oh, yeah.
Steve has a wide and varied resume.
Yes.
Sold a lot of stuff.
What would you, Steve? What would you classify yourself as? Like a career salesman, or is that how you would?
A career sales manager.
Okay.
And I started as a salesman and then got into management and then, ran the sales team. Which was fun.
All right.
If you sold more stuff people didn't need, then you could shake a stick at. People used to ask me, what do you actually do for a living? I said, I convince people to buy stuff that nobody needs and they are happy about it.
Hey, you're bringing joy to the world. People don't know they need something until they know it exists.
Yeah, well.
And
Some things are better left unknown.
Nice thing about the stickies is you can peel them off. I got that one just a little bit crooked.
Oh, William says, nice brick tank. It's so nice. Camilla is watching you build it.
'Tis British. Okay, let's see.
The BB gun is ready.
Get away from me with your BB gun! I got a few builds I probably wouldn't mind taking a BB gun to.
You see what John Ashley Smith said?
Was that?
Reading it. Melt them. That's what you should do. Melt them. But you probably don't have a cassette player to play them on right now.
A cassette?
Lance wants to know what scale that tank is.
You know, they don't have one on here, but I'm going to say about 1:48.
Chili Billy agrees.
Well, let me grab a little 1:48 figure and put it next to. Oh, it comes complete with a little British flag. Now, where does that go? Oh, it goes right on top of the gun.
Yeah, they still say they can't hear you or I can.
You're not missing a lot.
This is the best part. Technical difficulties.
There you go.
Somebody does not know how to operate the software.
Is that what you tell them after you sell it to them? It's like Mike was talking about. What did he call it when they kind of fudge it? He called it like.
Oh, what did he say? God, that was so clever. Mike, right? If you're still here, put in the comment section. That was funny. Was it fudgeometrics?
Yeah, something like that. We used to call that FM.
Freaking magic.
Yep.
We use the same phrase. How does that work? PFM, pure freaking magic.
Yep.
Well, that's what you put on the drawing board when you're designing it and you have no idea how that particular part's going to work. Or you put magic happens here.
Let me wave my wand and it will happen.
I've done that a few times.
Oh, like none of us ever told that. Never mind. I'm just going to stop myself right there.
There's one comment that I do say for certain people who are very computer challenged.
That's computer challenged.
When people say, "Hey," something I will usually that it doesn't, they can't get it to work. I say, "Well, that's an ID10T error." For those who don't know what that means,
Idiot.
Type it out. Don't give it away.
Dun 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 dun.
If anybody can hear me saying that.
Done.
Yay!
20 minutes, 38 seconds.
Okay, Joe says we're silent.
Like Laurel and Hardy.
Let me see if I can fix that.
That would have been good an hour and a half.
An hour and a half ago.
Try it now. See, guys. See. I gotta move that back over here now.
Any 1, 2, 3,
Any
1, 2, 3,
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Any better, guys?
4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Somebody says yes. I'm not sure if that means.
I think it means it's built.
That holding mouse. Success. Hey, I guess somebody hears this. Or maybe that's for your model.
Yeah, that's probably for the model.
Echo. Still echoing, huh?
Not such a challenger at all. According to the Airfix website, no scale.
Can anybody hear us? Comment on that. Guess not.
Audio is murder. That's what it says. Now we're all echoing.
Echo City guys.
Sounds like we're all broadcasting from the Grand Canyon. Oh well.
I think you got a loop going, Max. Now we can't hear you. Which is probably not the worst thing.
That's not bad. make the evening go much quicker.
Oh, I know what he's going to put his earphones on so he can turn off the speakers.
Oh, I thought he was pretending he was in the sim.
It's probably feeding back into the microphone from the speakers.
Well, none of it's working.
Yes. I hear you. And it's time to go.
Yeah, hi, David. Here we go. Listening to you guys makes me wonder if I'm stoned.
Can't hear Max.
No sound.
It could be worse.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. We were talking about software earlier, and I said some people get an ID error. If you don't know what that is, write it out, or even type it out. See if anybody figures that one out. Oh well, at least got the kit built.
Yeah.
Is that a Bluetooth headset, Max?
Can you hear him?
No.
Nope.
Nobody can hear you.
Says Max, turn the switch on.
I guess they can hear us talking at us.
It sounds like Raj on the scavenger hunt episode of Big Bang Theory.
Oh, now Max has disappeared. It's just you and I echoing.
Echo. There we go.
That may be by design.
And I'm sure you're all glad for that. But oh, it's figured out. Okay.
Noise canceling. Did you get it fixed, Max? Can you hear me? Can we hear you? No, we can't hear you.
No.
And I'm faking it. No Max sound.
No Max sound.
Hey, we could probably take this opportunity and if everyone sounded like that, I wish I were deaf. Okay.
I'm in a zoo. There we go.
And it's a Twilight episode. Yeah. His lips are moving. No sound. No balloons. Nobody can. Subtitles, Max.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Hi, Verizon.
We can hear you.
Yes. Unfortunately. I don't know.
Williams, boomers with technology. Fun for hours.
Can you hear through it? Well, unplug the speakers.
Wait till you guys watch replay.
Now you're very loud.
And everyone else is echoing.
And we're back to echoing.
With the model whisperers can.
There you go.
Max has gone silent again.
Well, that's because he's not talking.
I didn't think he was Italian.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I unplugged the Yeti microphone. I'm just using the one that's built into the computer. And I'm trying to turn the volume down on the speaker as much as I can.
In space, no one can
Okay, are they still echoing, guys? Clearly we have technical issues to work out.
Bill Paul says, don't say anything. Let's see how long Max goes before you realize something's wrong.
John actually says silent running.
Now they can barely hear you. Boy, that's change. Oh, we could use a string can and tin can.
Yeah, I got I'm using the area microphone now, so I have to speak up. But that seems to be the only way to keep it out of hold on. Thought. Don't know if it'll work, but it's a thought.
Having a thought here.
Having a thought. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me see.
All right, now it's working. Now it's working.
Louder. Louder.
But
way too loud. You're distorting.
All right. You get.
You're distorting. There, better.
Okay.
But we still echo.
You got. It's got to be coming back to the microphone.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
You know what? I'll turn the gain down on the mic. Might help a little bit.
I don't. Baby.
But you can still hear me. Okay.
Yeah, sounds okay now. Sounds okay now.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine. Jack Fleming says it's time for coffee.
Yeah.
Says you now sound like a Cylon.
Your command.
And the little rotating eye going back and forth. Somebody sacrifice a chicken.
Now you sound like a Dalek.
What's
Exterminate.
Oh, I have that.
Yes. Yes, it did. Phil was very happy. Yep. Nice article on it. Yep. Phil would still like the viewers to buy it on his eBay page because he still has a few left. So. They're trying to get the they're in discussions to try to get the other mold that Phil made, which is the Godzilla you have with the radio tower. They're trying to get that done so they could bring that to market too. That's a great kit. The pins on the tongue need to be made longer. Phil was talking about that. Meanwhile, any of the viewers out there going to any model shows in the next couple of weeks? Right, but that's over. Yeah, but the Nuremberg show is good because you see a lot of what the companies are going to come to market with in this year. I know we're still getting comments on the audio. They say your audio is gone. Yeah. Lance. Okay, now Max, he says Max is totally silent. He can only hear me. But Ken hasn't been talking, so he can probably hear Ken too.
1, 2. I may have just had it turned down too much.
Michael says still no sound mix.
See.
Sluggo's never been to a model show. Oh. Barry says no audio from Max. Races get cue cards.
All right. I'm showing a green line here when I talk. So it should be going out. It's not muted. Yeti was selected.
Okay, it says you're silent, I'm loud with echo, and Ken is faint with an echo. Cadillo says starting to get low volume from Max.
Huh. I'm wondering if it's a Skype. Oh, hold on. I think I have a cure, but you guys, we're gonna go out of sync here.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Can you hear me now? it's going to be a bit of a. All right. Okay. I figured out what it is. Okay. Just to offer you too much information, I have all three Skype inputs down here, and have the microphone input up top. And I had lowered my Skype inputs because I'm actually Skyping into my own thing. I could kill my Skype and just use the camera and the microphone directly, but we would all be out of sync.
It says it's okay.
It might be why I could use it. It's the mysteries of the machine. You start crossing platforms and stuff, and badness happens. Oh, by the way. Be right back. Also have a metal mutant from Atlantis. This is the additional one that Phil gave me. Steve, you know how I acquired that, so... Yeah. So anyway, guys, it's a good kit if you're this Island Earth fan, but it also makes, I think, that the Metal Mutants, although this Island Earth is a great movie, and I think it's a good kit. It's not a lot of pieces that go together well. It's easy to paint. But I think the Metal Mutants' real strength is that it is a great kit that you can kit bash into a creature of your own creation. You know, whether you want to use extra parts or putty or whatever, it makes a real good basis for a kaiju kit bash. We might have to do that as some kind of a viewer's build at some point. Not a kaiju kit bash, character kit bash, I should say, figure kit bash. We got the kit bash coming up, and if you wanted to kit bash a figure, you could. You can kit bash anything. But that'd be interesting. People creating their own movie monsters and stuff. Then you can wrap vines around it. And it's being attacked by the Triffids.
Or an amoeba.
I'm going to melt the amoeba over one of these tanks or something. The day of the amoeba. Hey, if an amoeba can swallow the USS Enterprise in Star Trek, don't underestimate the mighty amoeba. Look what it has survived.
Why don't you get a figure of Picard and have it swallow him?
I understand that the actress that's playing the villain in the new Star Trek is Amanda Plummer. I didn't realize she's the daughter of actor Christopher Plummer.
Correct. Correct.
Christopher Plummer was Kirk's nemesis in one of the was it not undiscovered country, whatever. Now it was one anyway. So now his daughter's playing one of Picard's, and so you got a little bit of symmetry going on there.
I don't know. I'm waiting for the Black. I'm waiting for the Black Beauty to come round two.
Yeah, you were saying it looks like a real nice kit.
Yeah, I saw the test. I saw the test shots of it. They showed it on. They showed it on YouTube channel the other day, and it looks great.
I have no idea where I'm going to put this thing at until I get the TARDIS set up. The electricians are supposed to come on the 20th. Until I get it set up, I literally just putting stuff wherever I can find room. As you guys can tell by the clutter behind me. But
you can always give it to the guys who are working on the TARDIS as a gift.
Well, it's funny. Last live stream we had all the trouble with the model. And it was a funny show. This one, everything went together, and it's almost a disappointment. It's like, well, this isn't funny. Everything's working.
I'm stunned.
We didn't expect it to work.
Night Fluggo. Yes, Jack. Is coming out. 7 Aston Martin DB5, and they're going to have a whole selection of James Bond kits. They'll have the Mustang from Diamonds Are Forever. They'll have the Citron from the Spy. No, I forget which movie. It's the Citron's from.
Is that the one that drove off?
No, the other one from when they were in Greece.
Well,
it was for your eyes. Only.
And then they're going to have, they brought back the Moonraker shuttle. And there's another kit. And there's another kit. So they're going to have a whole assortment of James Bond kits.
Bit of trivia for you. You know where the term Moonraker came from?
Nope.
It's the very topmost sail on the center mast. Square rigger.
Okay.
Square rigger.
Didn't know that.
They call it the Moonraker because it's so far up there.
I'm not going to touch that. one.
Barry's family just sent a photo. Apparently they recovered the balloon.
Yeah, a friend of mine sent me that picture too.
I heard that when the balloon was shot down, TikTok went off the air for an hour.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I understand that was coming over with the bag of money. It's going to land in Wilmington, but it couldn't make it that far.
Gavin saying that you're distorted. We're still echoing. We're gonna have to work on that.
Well, I don't know how much of it is.
Because we can all hear each other perfectly.
By the way, guys, this box opens on the end. Snapback boxes.
So the thing about the echo is that Steve and I we can hear each other.
We're on Skype.
It's no problem. Yeah, but the problem on Max's end, the internet.
Okay, I'm going to kill mine and go on the local camera and microphone.
Okay.
And, let's see.
Oh, they're giving up on us already. I guess we're not interesting. Oh yeah, we could write notes. To each other.
There you go. Put them in a bottle, and you know.
Oh, we just write a little note. Yeah, write a little note.
Hold it up. Yeah, get a slate. Like in prison.
I've been kidnapped.
Oh, you know what? I bet it won't let me use the camera because we're using the camera to do the Skype. Let me see. Video capture device.
How many cameras do you have?
I got two, but one of them's looking at the table. But yeah, it won't let me. But what I can do is this. Everybody cover your eyes. In fact, hold on. Let me turn that off.
Yeah, we're just losing. People get tired of listening to us.
This one's kind of a bust, I think, because we. There is one minor subject. Paul down in New Zealand had asked. I'm upside down, guys. Let's see. There we go.
Nobody can tell.
Paul in New Zealand had asked about models that use the color of plastic that is used when they do the metallizing of plastics, the chroming.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I don't think the color matters. They can use any styrene they want. And
color doesn't matter. Color doesn't matter because you're putting in a machine. Yeah, you're putting in a machine that doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter. What they usually try to do is if there's a charge for different color pellets, they use the cheapest ones they can find because it's going to be chromed. And they're usually white. Underneath. So if you scrape the chrome off,
yeah, I had a red one, but I'm pretty sure that's just because they probably had a bunch of left, a lot of
a lot of red left over.
Ray White says, I still got a slight buzz going, so it don't matter. Bill got used to the echo. I've always wondered the chroming process on car parts. They figured out how to get the electricity to pass through the parts. Is that the same process they use for chroming model pieces?
No, what they do is they take all of the trees, and they put them on racks. Put them in this machine, and it kind of like blasts the chrome on it.
Oh, so it just sprays it on?
It kind of blasts it. It kind of blasts it, and it comes out chrome. Like if you go out and you buy now, they have paint from Krylon and Rust-Oleum. It sprays chrome. And I've used it. And Jim Keeler told me about it. Let's see how this works. And it's amazing. Because I did it on some suspension parts on the dragster I was doing. It looks just like chrome. It's amazing. And it just sprays out of the can. And you can buy the stuff. Lowe's and Home Depot. You don't have to go to a hobby store. But it sprays chrome on plastic. It looks really good.
Just adjusting the lights. This camera needs a little more light than the other. Well, I'm out of stuff to talk about. You know, once Mike left, this kind of got kind of like, la, we're flailing now.
Yeah, we're just trying to get the audio fixed.
Well,
a lot of people left. We're down to 63 people.
We need a roadie. We need
an engineer. This is the danger of Skyping. I'm not sure the audio didn't work better when we just used the communicator.
Well, the last time we did it, it worked fine.
It could be a bandwidth issue. It could be, I don't know.
Well, we will get it fixed. People. So next week. We'll
be on this all week.
I don't know if everybody's having problems or yeah. Trust me, folks. I will be roundly punished Monday through Friday. They are going to take me and do this to me for a week. So.
Are we doing next week?
I'd like to.
You'll be back by then?
It stands right now. You know, good Lord willing, the river doesn't rise. I go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if all goes well, I'll be done Friday night with all the sim training. So I should have the weekend off, provided nothing untoward.
Excellent.
You know, sims don't break or something. And
or catch fire.
What?
Halt and catch fire.
So you guys are echoing.
Somebody suggested maybe we should use Discord.
Hold on. I might have discovered something. Okay.
Are they working?
Now try a voice check.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Anything?
Headset's not working, but hold on, let me see.
Put the high power glasses on now.
Herman says, as the years went by, everyone listening to Max channels evolved with an extra set of years.
I got my speaker off, and oh, you know what? You guys have headsets?
I do, but that's not the problem. That's not what the problem is. You can hear us fine, right? You can hear us fine, right? With no echo.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. We can all hear each other. Without any echo. Fine.
Right. So the echo is coming. Going into his microphone on the YouTube side.
See if you can kill your speaker on the YouTube side, because.
Max is good. The rest of the team is talking in threes.
There you go.
See, what keeps it from doing it on our side is noise canceling built into the software.
Right.
Headset just might be the OBS, might be the Skype.
Broadsword calling
Broadsword calling Danny Boy. Broadsword calling Danny Boy. Where Eagles dare.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that what it is?
That's Richard Burton. This is Broadsword calling Danny Boy. Broadsword calling Danny Boy.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Anything?
Oh, I see what they mean by the echo.
Yeah.
What I can't figure out is why I can't turn the bloody speakers off.
You can try and plug it.
I can't hear anything. I can't get the headset to pick up.
But it worked last week.
You change anything? Well, you can always get a pair of manual headphones like I have right into the audio jack. It's low tech, but it works.
Well, anyway, I think I have just about. I mean, we're kind of dog paddling here, so I figure we'll call it a night, and maybe we get the tech issues worked out. I'll loop the intro, guys, so that you can talk to each other for a little while, and then I will sign us off. Sorry for all the technical issues. I'm glad we got it to work with Mike anyway. So, guys, anything before we go? I'll leave it all up on Skype, and then I'll do this here, so maybe we can debug this to some degree. Well, guys, thanks for coming in. I hate to say that, I'm sorry the tank build went so well. There was no comedic value to that at all. I'll have to get a more complicated, more cantankerous kit for next time. Well, anyway, guys, take care of yourselves. And as always,
Bye, guys.
Heading out, you know where, the hobby shop, to see what's there. Not a thing is new, but on, Clue Troopers!
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. C'est payé, balayé, oublié. Je me fous du passé. Avec mes souvenirs, j'ai allumé le feu. Mes chagrins, mes plaisirs, je n'ai plus besoin de balayer les amours avec leur trémolo, balayer pour toujours. Je repars à zéro. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Car ma vie, car mes joies, aujourd'hui, ça commence avec toi.
Michael Rennie was ill the day the earth stood still, but he told us where we stand. And Flash Gordon was there in silver underwear. Claude Rains was the invisible man. Then something went wrong for Fay Ray and King Kong. They got caught in a celluloid jam. Then at a deadly pace it came from outer space. And this is how the message ran. Science fiction, double feature. Dr. X will build a creature. See androids fighting. Brad and Janet and Francis stars in Forbidden Planet. Whoa. At the late night double feature picture show. I knew Leo G. Carroll was over a barrel when Tarantula took to the hills. And I really got hot when I saw Jeanette Scott fight a trivet that spits poison and kills. Dana Andrews said prunes gave him the runes, and passing them used lots of skills. But lied, said George Powell to his bride. I'm gonna give you some terrible thrills, like art, science fiction, double feature, Dr. X will build a creature, see androids fighting, Brad and Janet, and Francis stars in Forbidden Planet. Whoa. At the late night double feature picture show, I wanna go. To the late night double